Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. We'll just give it a couple of more minutes, and then we can begin the webinar. Let's give some time for everyone else to join. We will be starting the webinar in just 1 or 2 minutes. Good afternoon again. Let's begin the webinar. Thank you again for joining us today. This is going to be a joint webinar between Milestone and our partner InnoRange, and we'll be talking about how the video-enabled access control integration can really solve some of the use cases and some of the pain points for our customers. So we'll go through in detail today. I have on my panelists today our colleagues from InnoRange. My name is Haider Mohammed. I'm the committee manager for Middle East and Africa region for Milestone Systems. I'll let InnoRange team introduce themselves.
Hello, this is Issam Hamdan. I'm the region manager for InnoRange in the Middle East.
Hello, this is Daniel Joubert. I'm the regional account manager for international markets based in Melbourne, Australia.
Thank you guys, and thanks again for joining us. So I'll proceed further with the webinar. So I'll talk about Milestone XProtect, and I'll give you a brief introduction of what we do and how does this access control with video enablement can really solve some of the pain points for our customers and some of the use cases that are really relevant in our industry today. When we talk about surveillance, which is our core functionality, the surveillance back in the days was just recording the cameras, and then you have the live view and you can play back. As the industry has evolved, we have seen the demands have increased, and really we have seen the evolution of the surveillance industry as well. Now you have biometric access control systems, touchless access control systems, RFID, parking management system, people counting, occupancy management, and all of that. So there are lots and lots of use cases that we see with the video these days, and the demands have increased, and our customers are looking to implement these different use cases to solve some of the challenges that we face in the industry today. And that's what we're going to talk about later in the webinar, and we'll show you how the access control system can really be a pivotal component that can overcome some of the challenges that we face today, and it can really, implement some of the nice solutions to overcome those challenges. So when we talk about these different challenges and different systems that we want to work with that are in demand, the ANPR, video analytics, camera, obviously the optical sensor is definitely one of the most important component that provides the video data to the platform. But you really need a platform that can take all these nice technologies, nice innovations, and bring them together and act as a glue to fulfill the solution set for our customers. And that's where Milestone XProtect comes into play. Milestone XProtect provides you that platform that brings together these technologies from our partners like InnoRange, and then helps you implement those nice customer solution stacks that can overcome the challenges that we face today. The open platform, since the inception of Milestone back in 1998, the open platform is something that is in our DNA as a product, as a company. We have always been advocating the open platform because we believe in our strategy, and we believe this is the roadmap that we have, and this is the future. It's easy to say that one particular vendor can solve all the challenges that the customer faces, but the reality is that you need to work with the specialized technologies, the niche technologies, and specialized partners and bring them together to fulfill the solution stack. And that's the whole beauty and the core of the open platform. And that's what Milestone brings to the table. Like I was mentioning, as the industry has evolved, the requirements have changed. We face these days new challenges, especially in the given situation, the COVID situation. We've seen a lot of customers are relying on our technology to overcome some of these challenges. For instance, touchless access control system, using biometric for your access control system, occupancy management that you just measure at the given point in time, that how much people are at a certain location, time and attendance. So all of that has become very, very relevant. And that's what we're going to show you, that how can we overcome some of these challenges. Milestone XProtect Access is the add-on product in our portfolio. Any Milestone product, be it corporate, expert, professional plus, and others, we have an add-on product called Milestone Access. It's the framework that we have built as an add-on, whereby the partners like InnerRange can really bring in their niche technology when it comes to access control system to this module. So as a customer, you would use Milestone Access interface, and you will monitor all the access control related activities on Milestone front-end interface. You can have the notification with badge IDs or picture IDs of people that are requesting the access to certain premises. And that's where the video enablement come into picture. And obviously you will have all the investigations that you can perform, the alarm management of all the access related events, be it door open, door force open, so on and so forth. And you can perform all the documentary and as well as the reporting capabilities that you can make use of to generate all the reports that you're looking for based on certain user access, based on the day's activity, and that those reports can be customized as well. So in a very brief overview, XProtect Access is a framework that acts as an add-on to Milestone products. And the partners like InnerRange can really be the brain behind the access control system. They run the core access control engine and the backend, whereas Milestone fetches all the information onto this interface, be it the user administration, be it monitoring the access control events, generating alarms. Based on alarms, you can even have further actions that you can perform. For instance, you want to visualize those alarms on certain maps that you want to make use of to pinpoint and identify exactly what door in your premises had that event. And also you can generate all kind of reporting mechanisms and reporting tools that you can use inside Milestone to monitor your access control related activity with the video attached to it. So the idea of Milestone XProtect Access is that it really brings best of two worlds. So like I said, it's really easy to say that one vendor can provide all that you're looking for within the highly demanding and challenging industry that we face today. But the reality is that you need to work with the partners, the specialized partners that are best in what they do. And that's what we bring to the table to our customers as an open platform system. So Milestone being the industry leading video management software platform, and then we have InnerRange, the industry leading access control system, and that XProtect Access allows this synergy between the InnerRange and Milestone XProtect. And that's how you can really implement and increase the operational efficiency and situational efficiency using the access control system with the video enablement. The idea behind it, the framework is already there, and InnerRange has developed the integration, which is pretty much plug and play. So if you have InnerRange system up and running, just by installing the plugin, Milestone fetches all the information from InnerRange system onto Milestone GUI, and then you are pretty much up and running. So there's very less administration that is required in terms of configuration. very easy to use, very user friendly, and then powered by InnoRange in the backend for all the access control related functionalities that you're looking for. Just to summarize it, if you see in the middle the XProtect Access, like I said, the monitoring, that's a snapshot of how the Access tab looks like inside Milestone. You get the picture or badge ID of persons who are accessing the any doors with the video enablement. Uh, if for assist part, if somebody is requesting the access to certain doors, you get that access request inside Milestone, and it's very easy for operator to visualize if the person is a concern or is a threat, or they can simply allow them access just by reviewing the access request. You can further do your investigation, like I mentioned. It's all the events can be generated into Milestone in the alarm management tab. You can implement your standard operating procedure or your operational procedures for any end customer or for your premises based on the request, based on the events that you're getting from access. So for instance, if it's a access denied event that you've received, what are the standard operating procedures, whether you need to inform your supervisor, whether you need to send out an email to your supervisor, or inform your manager about it. All that can be automated with our rule engine inside the Milestone, and then you can really customize and implement your operating procedures the way you want. You can generate the reports as an administrator to see what kind of activities were performed during the day for your supervisors, and you can monitor all sort of these activities in a very nice, very elaborative PDF reports, and you can generate them for your supervisor and management as well, and for your review if you are want to investigate a certain incident that might have happened in your premises. So it gives you very elaborative reporting mechanism as well. I'll run a very short video that will give you some sort of more insights of how access, Milestone Access can be used into different verticals, be it education, be it safe city, smart city, retail. So there are many different use cases, and like I was mentioning, given the situation these days with the COVID challenge that we face today, there's increased requirements and a lot of demands that we're getting from the customers to have touchless access control system, making use of RFIDs, for example. Also, the occupancy management, time and attendance has become even more relevant to monitor who enters the premises. And even we are seeing access control being used to find out and the contact tracing, for instance. So many different use cases to overcome these challenges, and these access control technology can be used very much to overcome these challenges. So I'll run a short video just to give you a little bit more overview of how Milestone Access can be used in different verticals. So as you've seen in the video, that it can be implemented in different verticals and in many different ways. So be it a bank, be it a retail with distributed architecture, you can still implement it, and you can have your centralized command and control center where you can monitor all your access control activities, and you can administrate all your activities related to access control system with the video. So it really gives you a sort of a centralized platform with having just one GUI, the Milestone Smart Client, which is the front-end uh, uh, operator console that we have, where you can visualize all the information, all the event management, and all the access control related activities can be managed and can be implemented in the various ways, be it the centralized architecture, be it the distributed architecture like retail or bank, different branches. All of that can be implemented based on your requirement, and you can have full control of all the capabilities and full visualization of your installation. I'll now pass it over to Issam so he can give us an intro into what InnoRange offers. So, Issam, I'll pass you the control so you can present.
Okay. Sorry, just.
Sorry, I'll just answer.
Okay. Shall I use my presentation? Or are you gonna?
Issam, sorry. Just give me a minute. I'll sort it out.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, Issam, you should be able to switch the screens now. Slides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Haida, for making this happen. Good afternoon to everyone. Once again, my name is Issam Al Hamdan. I'm the region manager of for InnoRange in the Middle East. I go with me as well, my colleague Daniel Jabert. He's definitely the guy who supports every time that I need something. He's always the guy who back me up and give me all the things I need. So what we're going to do today is hopefully taking you through a journey. And I'm going to be taking you on the theory part, but also my colleague Daniel is going to be taking care of the demonstration, the live demonstration of the full integration between us and Milestone. Okay, so just before we start this journey, but first of all, I want to give you a little bit of who we are, what we do as a company. So InnoRange is an Australian-based engineering and manufacturing company in Australia. We are also part of Annexer as a group. So Annexer is our mother company. We established in 1988, and our other office and R&D basically in Melbourne. What you see in the back picture, this is where our office is located, and this is where all the technology comes from, delivered to your office, delivered to your projects. And we also are ISO 9001 quality certified. So, and in terms of the global presence of InnoRange, so you know that InnoRange, so InnoRange basically is a global presence for InnoRange. We majorly focus market is basically Australia. Sorry, just I think there's a delay on the screen. So need to be recorded. Yeah. So the major market that we do focus at is basically Australia, New Zealand, and as well as Southeast Asia. Can you just go back from there and right, okay, thank you. So what we've done as well, we opened up an office in the UK since 2000. And what we've done after that is basically going to the more global presence. So we opened up an operation in the Middle East a year, 3 months ago, and also in Canada, the US, and India. All these countries are actually new operated countries for us. What we do as a company, so we are a very specialized company in terms when it comes to access control, intruder, security management, and on top of all of that, you need an integrated solution. And what we do as well, we have a big team. manage development of the hardware or software, as well as that all the integration that we do in Arrange basically is done in-house. So we don't outsource our integrations. We have a full team of 30 engineers. The job is basically just doing those integrations, and we're doing really project-based integrations as well. So whenever you guys have a project that needs a very specific integration that we have to build up, we are very, very lucky to have a team to build up those integrations for you. In terms of references, we have a lot of references basically in each and every vertical. This is one of the things that makes us very strong and unique in the market, that our product can fit in each and every vertical that you guys are working at. It depends if it's government, airports, or you have sport facilities, or you're talking about schools and education, you're talking about the hospitals. So we got a really nice system that fits in each and everywhere. One of the things that you should know, guys, basically is when in Arrange, we have two product lanes. The first one we call Inception. An Inception is basically a commercial access control intruder system that can manage up to 128 doors of 512 inputs. And the nice thing on Inception, you don't need a server to run it. But basically, you could use a web embedded software inside the controllers, right? So we can use it for inter-market requirement. But when it comes to a very, very integrated solution that you're looking for, Integrity could be really your platform. So Integrity is an enterprise from InnoRange that can manage 1,000 of doors, 1,000 of users, 1,000,000 of users, and then integrate to hundreds of third-party applications. And just to give you guys an idea, Inception and Integrity are both fully integrated into Milestone platform. So we have a bi-directional integration between us and Milestone in both systems. These are really a couple of references that actually I could run from our guys in Australia. So basically, these are really live sites now between Integrity and Milestone. Now, moving ahead with that. So basically, sorry. If you could run it from here, then I think it's be much easier. Just with that there. If I could share my screen, Haider, is it possible to do that? I mean, it could be much easier to control.
You can share your screen, Isam.
Okay, so thank you. Show my screen. Yeah, thank you very much. Can you see my screen? Just to confirm, Haider.
Yeah.
All right, good. So as I said before, these are live references that we got us and Milestone. And by the way, we had an amazing success in Australia and New Zealand and those regions with Milestone. And what we're trying to do in the Middle East as well is taking that success story that we have done and basically copy and paste that success into this region as well. So these are really what I got from Daniel is really live up and running sites that have been done actually with Milestone. Now, as I mentioned before, that basically we have a bidirectional integration with Milestone. What means with that is we could have Integrity as your front end. What I mean with that is instead of we bring our doors to Milestone, also Milestone can bring their cameras to our platform. What you see in the picture in front of you in here is basically bringing the camera into Integrity platform. And by the way, from the website, what you can do as well is you can download the Milestone CCTV capabilities guide. And from that tells you what capability, what to do to bring in things from Milestone to our system. But at the same time, what Haider was talking about the whole time is basically the access control manager from Milestone. But instead of we bring the camera to our platform, some of the users or operators, they prefer to bring the doors and the users and the area, everything from the access control into the Milestone or to the VMS site. And this is exactly what we're doing with Milestone, is bringing those users, areas, and everything and display it into the Milestone platform, access control platform. And this is exactly also a document that you can guys jump on the website and download. You can see a lot of things you could do, much more than just bringing those and users and areas. But this is the why we're doing this bi-direction is to give the flexibility to operator to choose what to be in the front. Also, what we can do at the same time, so if you guys are an existing customers of Milestone, you could actually go to the Milestone workplace and you can get some information more about, basically you can get more information about integrity and inception at the same time. Because we're talking about integrity most of the time, but I want to give it justice to inception. If you go, guys, to the YouTube talking about inception, you can have downloaded, actually, you can see the video about the integration between inception and the Milestone, but we are here today to talk about integrity and on integrity. So if you guys have a time after this webinar, go to the YouTube, just type inception integrated to Milestone, and you can get a full information from this actually available video. Now what I'm going to do is basically give the authority to Daniel to go ahead and show us the live demonstration about the integration with Milestone. So Daniel, if you can hear me, please take over.
Daniel, you're muted, and you're the presenter now. We can see your screen.
Thanks, Issam. Can you just confirm, Haida, that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thanks, guys. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate a couple of those points that Haida touched on, as well as Issam. So what I've got in front of me here is Milestone XProtect. A bit of background about the integration itself. We first integrated to Milestone as just a CCTV platform in 2010. Our integration with Milestone ACM happened a couple of years ago, and we've maintained that those integrations up till this point, which I'm running Milestone 2020 R2. So as one of our preferred partners, we have a very tight integration and a well-maintained integration with a Milestone platform. Before I jump straight into it, just to explain exactly what we're doing here, we're integrating our access control and intruder detection platform. So we're an integrated system, and our server is integrating directly to the Milestone XProtect server. So effectively, it's a server-to-server integration. Today, I'm going to be generating some events, some access control events, and just to show you exactly how I'm going to be doing that, I've got this case in front of me, this demo case. I've got a couple of cards, and I've got 3 doors on my system. So I've got a car park, I've got an office, and behind this keypad, I've got a server room door. So I'm able to generate events, I'm able to badge cards to show this working. So it is a live demonstration. I am interacting with the system. Okay. But before jumping straight into the demo, just to clarify and touch on some of the points again, really the purpose of the ACM is to provide the option to have the CCTV as the front end to the access control system. So in sites where the CCTV takes priority over the day-to-day functionality of the access control system, it provides the operator a single dashboard that gives them the ability to display the information they need to make the quick decisions, quick responses, using video verification, and really just improve the situational awareness on the site. It just provides the operator with video and access control combined. Now, in my application here, with the Milestone ACM plugin running and with it configured, I gain access to the new tab up here called Access Control. And in this tab, I've got 3 sub-tabs. One's events, doors, and card holders. As Issam mentioned, I'm able to synchronize from the integrity system. I'm able to synchronize events dynamically. I'm able to synchronize doors, including their status. And I'm also able to synchronize things like the card holders as well. So all of those things are coming across into the system on setup, and then some of them are updated dynamically as they go. So events is a great starting point. As you can see at the moment, I've got my live events up at the moment. And as I badge at a particular door, for example, you can see I'm badging as a user called Justin Gledson, and events are coming up for the user each time. I badged into the car park gate, into the server room door, and then into the office door. Now, the benefit of this is that because those doors are actually within the Milestone system, I can create associations with those doors, which means the car park gate is actually associated with a camera, the server room door is associated with a particular camera in the server room, and the office door is associated with my hallway here. So this provides me the ability to quickly and easily see, get visual verification. I can see the footage relating to an event. Not only can I see the footage, but if it relates to a user, I can also see the user photograph down the bottom here, and I can see the username as well. So looking back at events historically, I can easily identify a user. I can visually verify they are who they're meant to be entering the door. And this is just a matter of looking at events. Additional things that we can do with events that Haida mentioned was the use of reporting. So I'm just going to change to an historical view. I'm going to search for a particular card holder. The card holder is Gabrielle, and I'm going to generate an access report from here. I get a couple of options. I'm going to flag the option to include snapshots, which will just provide me a snapshot of the footage from the access event. Hit create on there, and that should generate that report for me. And if I open that report, we can see I've got two reports there actually. This is Gabrielle's report, so I can see the event, the card holder, I can see the time, the date, and any information available in there. Obviously, the more events there are, the longer the report will be. So that's the events, and as I mentioned, these events are live, they are dynamic, so as I interact with the system, they're popping up immediately. The next tab is doors. This is where I can interact with the doors, whether it's 3 doors like my system or whether it's 3,000 doors. I can filter these doors, I can search for a particular door. It shows me the name of the door as well as the status of the door. So at the moment, these statuses are all door locked. They are dynamic. If I hit a Rex button, for example, on the office door, you'll see the state will change to door unlock timed. So at the moment, the door's unlocked because a user's hit the Rex button or the request to exit button. Additionally, besides just the status of the doors, again, that associated camera is really powerful because I can quickly switch between my doors and see the related footage. It could even be 2 cameras, both the inside and the outside camera for the door. But what I get additionally is I also get some commands. I've got direct control of the door from here. So I can simply unlock the door with a single click. Okay, I can lock the door, or alternatively, I can also timed unlock the door, which just unlocks the door for the default unlock time based on the door configuration in integrity. So in this case, that would be for 5 seconds. So the door will just remain unlocked for 5 seconds and relock again afterwards. The next tab under access control is for card holders. In this case, I have got a database with about 10,000 card holders, and I'm able to filter them down to a particular user. So we'll go with Gabrielle again. We can see there that we've got a user, Gabrielle. I can see her photograph and I can also see her name. Milestone's not the primary interface for programming the user. That still is integrity. The user is configured, permissions are assigned within integrity, and the card holder is synchronized across so that the photo and the name can appear in the reports and also the access pop-ups and access windows. From here, what we can do as well is I can also click the button here to view cardholder events. Again, this just takes me back to the events tab and it just pre-filters those events for me. Again, making it much easier to identify a certain user and subsequently show the events for that user. Okay, so those are the 3 primary tabs found under access control. Now, the true power comes from how the 2 systems interact in things like the maps and the alarm handling as well, or the alarm manager. So if I shoot across to the alarm, to the live tab here, I've got a map configured here, and on this map in the outdoor, in the external view, I've got a camera as well as the car park gate configured. I'm just going to jump into an internal view where I've got a couple of things displayed. In this case, I've got the office door, and we can see that office door is live. If I push the button to open it or badge a card, you can see those doors opening dynamically. And additionally, what I also have here as well is I have these units called office or server room. These are actually the areas. So as an integrated system, we also do intruder detection, which means that I actually can arm and disarm the areas directly from the Milestone system as well. So from here, if I click on a door, I've got the ability to control the door. Additionally, if I click on an area, I've also got the ability to arm and disarm an area. Now tying it back to our system as an integrated system, if I now badge on the office door, it will unlock the door for me and also disarm this office area. So as I badge, you can see the office is now disarmed and the office door is unlocked. Okay. So that's the schematic maps. Again, dynamic state, doors, areas, as well as interacting with those items. The next thing I want to show you is the access control view. I've just got an access monitor view set up here just with the two doors, a car park gate and my office door. And what's happening here is this is just passive. It's just popping up user photographs as they interact with the door. So you can see as users interact, Gabrielle just badged and now Rory's going to badge as well. The users just rotate down. I don't have to interact with this at all. I'm not denying entry to the store. It doesn't require an operator challenge. It just allows me to see a carousel of users that have entered, and at any time I can also click on one of these users, one of these events, to view the event in playback mode as well. So again, this is great just for situational awareness. It allows me to see what's happening on site and interact with the system as well. Additionally, I can also have control of the door from this window. Again, placing that control in as many places as possible to make it as convenient as possible for the operator. One step up from this is a very secure door, something where an operator needs to be challenged to open it, where there needs to be a pop-up to say this user is attempting to access this door, but really the access to the door is based on the operator's decision. So in that scenario, let's say, for example, I badge Gabrielle into the server room, which she does not have access to. You can see a notification pop up in front of my current application. That notification is saying that the user was denied access. She doesn't have permissions to it. But as an operator, the operator can override that in the system. So the access control system head says, no, you don't have access to the door, but the operator additionally can go, well, it is Gabrielle, it definitely is Gabrielle, and I can see the footage and I'm going to unlock the door, or in this case, I'm going to click timed unlock, which will unlock it for 5 seconds, and again, it will relock afterwards, ensuring that the server room remains locked. Once handled, I can close that request and I can return to the normal operation. The third advanced feature I want to show is the, I'll just pop back to the map, is the use of the alarm management. So in this case, I'm going to generate an alarm in my system. It's actually an alarm that relates to the office. So I'm going to generate, let's call it a duress point. So somebody's hit a duress button in the integrity system. Okay, and immediately on the map we can see that there is an issue on the second floor. There's a visual indicator. If I click on that, we can see that there is actually one of the entities that exists within integrity has actually been circled to indicate there's an alarm there. And additionally, alarm manager now indicates that there's one outstanding alarm. So from here, again, with the CCTV footage and the schematic map, I'm able to interact with the system. I can formulate a response, I can submit the response, I can interact with the system directly from here. Again, bringing that alarm management, it's not just door alarms, it's not just a door forced or a door held alarm, it could be any alarm in our system, because all of the events that they're getting include events like area alarms as well. Additionally, if we have a quick look at the smartphone capabilities as well. So a lot of the functionality I demonstrated here is available in the Milestone smartphone application. It's not just in the Windows-based smart client. So things like the door control, things like the pop-up notifications, they actually occur on the smartphone application as well, which means that it takes that capabilities of being able to unlock a door and you can actually put it in your hand. So somebody walking around a site can easily interact with doors directly from the Milestone smartphone app. The last thing I want to touch on is something that Issam touched on as well, is that this scenario with Milestone ACM puts the control of the system and the front end of the system as Milestone as the head end. We do also have an integration where Integrity grabs the cameras from Milestone. So this is our application, and in our application, we can actually grab cameras directly from Milestone. So I have an integration to Milestone here. As I interact with a map, for example, I can bring up live footage. I can also bring up historical footage based on events that occurred in the past. So I can right-click on a particular event and show CCTV footage. So it's not just limited to functionality. We have two integrations. One puts Milestone as the front end, and the other option is for a user that may require some more access control based functionality. In many of the sites that Issam spoke about the case studies, many of those sites, the users are actually using both scenarios, where somebody is better suited to having CCTV as the front end, but then a power user, somebody that's creating users, editing, that needs integrity as a primary platform, can use integrity and bring the cameras in. So it gives the flexibility of how the system is used really to the end user to be able to decide which system is the front end. Additionally, on top of that, this integration with the Milestone CCTV integration also has bidirectional. We can send events to Milestone, we can receive events from Milestone, and this also enables things like license plate recognition to occur on our systems. Milestone detects the license plate, gives us the analytics event, and basically from there we can unlock the door. We don't just simply open the door for LPR, we actually badge a card for the user, which means all of that complex access control functionality, like user qualifications, expiry dates, card expiries, all that functionality is checked at access, and then the user is granted or denied based on that. So provides a well-rounded system where the end user can choose which front end they want. That is basically the demonstration, Haida. If Issam or yourself would like to add anything else,
Thank
if you would like me to demonstrate anything else.
Thanks, Daniel. So as you've seen, is a two-way integration. It's bi-directional. So you can either use Milestone for the sites that use CCTV as the front end, for instance, Milestone Smart Client. So you have full capabilities of getting the access control events into Milestone, and that, as Daniel just demonstrated, it's just not receiving the events. It's deep integrations where you have all the alerts appearing on the maps. You have the control of the doors with the badge ID as well. And in case for certain use cases or for certain requirements where inner range needs to be the front end, so they have the capability of bi-directional integration where they can fetch the video from Milestone onto integrity interface as well. So that's the very deep level integration, and as you've seen, many different use cases can be implemented, and many, it can be applied into many different verticals, be it retail, be it transport, be it safe city or smart city kind of applications as well. And it's just not limited. It can be deployed on the enterprise scale. Like I was mentioning, if you have an example of a branch kind of a deployment like banks or retail, so you can really implement a distributed architecture and just have the centralized command and control either on Milestone or in integrity platform. So thanks for the demo, Daniel. I'll just share my screen now. So I want to talk about Milestone Marketplace, as most of you already browsed that. I highly encourage that all of you log into Milestone Marketplace, and Inner Range is also one of the verified and validated solutions that you will find on Milestone Marketplace. You can go through much more information that you're looking for. You can directly get in touch with Milestone as well as Inner Range for all your queries if you need more information. All the related collateral on Milestone integration, the product snapshot, videos, admin manuals, all of that is available on Milestone Marketplace. The advantage of solutions on Milestone Marketplace is also that all of these solutions are fully verified and validated. It's not that the integration was just developed and it's out there in the market. The solution that are available on Milestone Marketplace is verified between both the teams. It's validated, so you're rest assured, it gives you extra peace of mind that you're going for a solution that is fully tested, verified and it will work the way it's supposed to be. So if you have any questions, please type in your questions in the question chat. Also, for all the attendees, the recording of the webinar will be shared with you later. In case you have any queries, any questions later on, do not hesitate to reach out to us. And like I mentioned, you can even browse through Milestone Marketplace and post your queries and reach out to us for any inquiries that you may have. But if you have any questions, please type in the chat window and we will be glad to answer your questions here. But like I said, the recording will be available and will be shared with you, all of you, later on. So you can run through it and feel free to reach out to us for any queries, any inquiries. I do not see any questions yet. Okay, there's a question. Daniel and Isam, there's a question. What is the license details if IR Integrity is a front end? So if Integrity is the front end, what sort of licenses do we need?
Yes, Haider, I will be answering this question if you don't mind. So basically, if InnoRange is going to be the front end, there is a bundle. We have two licenses. One of it we call the business license, what we call the corporate license. That definitely depends on how many cameras should be associated to access control. So let's say the business license will give you 32 camera will be included in it, and you have to add. We have a license, a package of 8. But if you go with the corporate license, that will give you unlimited cameras to be basically associated to doors. So my recommendation will definitely be the corporate license. Depends on how many cameras. If you have a small project, that business could be enough. But if you have a big project that a lot of camera has to be associated and has to be integrated, and we have to be in the front end, then the corporate license should be giving you unlimited cameras to be integrated.
Thank you, Sam. And just to add to that, in case you're using InnoRange as the front end, then you would not be utilizing the Milestone Access module. That, like Isam mentioned, depending on the number of cameras, the corporate has unlimited cameras on InnoRange, so you can access all the cameras from Milestone to InnoRange. So in that case, Milestone will be running as it is with the normal device licenses that you have in any of your Milestone install base. And then InnoRange will have their licensing depending on the number of cameras. Corporate will have unlimited cameras, like Isam mentioned. But in that case, you would not be utilizing Milestone Access module. So the end of the question is, any plugin required for Milestone to monitoring the cameras? Just for monitor, if I've understood the question correctly, just to monitor the cameras, you would not need anything because that's the part of Milestone. You will have Milestone Smart Client where you monitor the cameras. I think what you're trying to ask is for the integration to InnoRange, is there any plugin for it? Yes, Milestone Access is the framework, and the integration is done through a plugin. That plugin is co-developed by InnoRange to integrate InnoRange system to Milestone Access. So that plugin is very straightforward. That gets installed on Milestone Management Server. You install the plugin, and then you have the integration. You give the credentials, and then you have InnoRange system integrated into Milestone. So there is a plugin that is required to integrate InnoRange to Milestone. So that integrates InnoRange through Milestone Access, and you get all the events as Daniel demonstrated into Milestone. So yeah, the plugin needs to be installed on the Milestone Management Server. Any other questions?
There's a question from Amin.
Are there any plans to do the user enrollment in Milestone rather than in Integrity? Daniel, you might want to answer that.
Yeah, so the user creation is always done within Integrity. The user synchronized from Integrity to Milestone, and the reason for that is Integrity offers a lot of alternative creation methods, whether it's things like Active Directory integration, whether it's integration to things like visitor management systems. Generally, not in every case, it's not necessarily a user creating or an operator creating the users. It could be a third-party integration, an XML interface. We've got lots of different ways of generating the users. So as an aggregation point, the users are always first created in Integrity and then synchronized to third-party systems like Milestone.
Thank you, Daniel. Any more questions? Please feel free to type in. Okay, if there are no more questions, we'd like to end the webinar here. And like I said, the recordings will be shared with all of you afterwards. You have Milestone Marketplace where you can get more information, more collateral on the integration and the systems. You can reach out to InnerRange and Milestone both using Milestone Marketplace for any queries. Our contacts will be shared with you once you get the recording in the email. So feel free to reach out if you have any inquiries, if you want to get any clarifications, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you once again. Thank you for joining us for the webinar, and I really hope it was beneficial for all of you who have attended. Thank you, and have a good rest of the day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Haider.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.